Before the story begins, pause for just a moment. If you enjoy stories that explore human emotions, quiet truths, and the spaces people don't talk about, subscribe to Lumisette Narratives. Your support helps these stories reach the people who need them. This is not a story about passion. It is not about temptation, and it is not about a night that went too far. This is the story of how an affair can begin long before a door closes, long before hands touch, and long before anyone admits something is wrong. They had been married for 11 years, enough time to build routines, enough time to forget why they started them. Mornings were quiet, not peaceful, just empty. Coffee was poured without words. Phones were checked before faces were noticed. Goodbyes were rushed, and reunions were automatic. There was no anger between them, no shouting, no obvious cracks, and yet something important was missing. They still shared a home. They still shared responsibilities. They still shared a bed. But they no longer shared themselves. At first, it felt normal. Life gets busy, she told herself. This is what long marriages look like. But slowly, she stopped talking about her day, not because she had nothing to say, but because no one seemed to listen when she spoke. Responses came late. Eyes stayed on screens. Conversations ended before they began. She learned to shorten her stories. Then she stopped telling them altogether, and loneliness can exist even when you are not alone. The affair did not begin with attraction. It began with recognition. Someone noticed the tiredness in her voice. Someone laughed at her jokes. Someone asked questions and waited for the answers. It was a small thing at first. A conversation during lunch. A message that said, "You sound overwhelmed." No compliments, no flirting. Just presence. And that presence felt like relief. She told herself it was innocent. After all, nothing was happening. There were no secret meetings, no late-night confessions, no blamed, just words. But words have weight. They carry emotion. They build connection. And slowly, the space that had been empty at home was filled somewhere else. She noticed herself smiling at her phone. She noticed herself wanting to share news with someone else first. She noticed how good it felt to be understood without explaining, and that scared her, because the betrayal wasn't physical, but it was real. At home, everything looked the same. Dinner on the table, lights turned off at night, bodies lying side by side. But emotionally, she was already elsewhere. The affair did not start in the bedroom. It started in the silence, in the absence of curiosity, in the moments where love was assumed, but not expressed. It started when being seen mattered more than being faithful, and that truth is uncomfortable. This story is not about blaming one person. It is about understanding how emotional distance can open doors we never meant to walk through. Because sometimes the most dangerous affairs don't begin with desire, they begin with neglect. Now, I want to hear from you. Which country are you watching from? And how did this story make you feel? Do you believe emotional affairs can hurt more than physical ones? Or do you think lines are only crossed when bodies are involved? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if this story resonated with you, subscribe to Lumisette Narratives. More stories are coming. Stories about love, loss, silence, and the truths we often ignore. I'll see you in the next one.